This is WKYT This Morning.
Good Friday morning to you. You're going to need an umbrella today. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant. But the weekend looks good, you know?
That is true.
Really good. It is Friday, April 22nd, and we're glad you're along on WKYT.
Now at 6, honoring a fallen officer. We're live in Richmond with details on this morning's ceremony for Officer Daniel Ellis.
Also, parents are speaking about the arrest of a man who police say was driving drunk while driving a school bus.
The country mourns a music icon. I'm Jamie Yukas in Minneapolis with a look at Prince's life.
Showers and a few rumbles of thunder out there early this morning. Afternoon, it looks like we're going to hold on to a few storms in the forecast as it looks on and off pretty much all day long. I'm going to show you that and also talk about an awesome weekend forecast coming up.
And we begin with a WKYT breaking news alert this morning. A death investigation has a stretch of New Circle Road in Lexington shut down right now.
Police say a man's body was found just before 4:30 this morning on New Circle Road at Industry Road near Eastland Parkway. WKYT's Victor Puente is there live with the breaking details. Good morning, Victor.
Well, New Circle Road could be closed for a few more hours as this investigation continues. The coroner says this man's death could be criminal, but he's not calling it a hit and run. The investigation started around 4:30. Police say a man driving a work truck saw a body in the outer loop of New Circle Road near Industry Road. They've now shut down New Circle at Eastland and Floyd and expect the road to be shut down throughout rush hour. Coroner Gary Ginn did give us an update a few minutes ago. He said he doesn't believe this is a hit and run, but it is possible that what happened to this man is criminal. Lexington Police Department's Collision Reconstruction Unit and Forensic Services Unit have both come to the scene to help with the investigation. Police tell me they don't have any witnesses yet as to how this man ended up in the road. The coroner did say they may know more once they move his body. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you very much. We're also tracking developing news this morning in Powell County. Crews are at the scene of a fire in Clay City. That fire is on Verdon Ridge Road, just off of Kentucky 15. We know that the Estill County Fire Department is also providing mutual aid and assistance at the scene. Our crew has just arrived on scene. Here is a live look. This picture we're just now establishing. We do not know if there are any injuries or exactly how the fire started this morning. Stay with WKYT on air and online for the latest information this morning about that fire in Powell County.
Also new this morning, members of a Richmond Police Department are planning a special ceremony to honor one of their own.
Later this morning, Officer Daniel Ellis is going to be honored. He died in the line of duty last year. Since then, the department has rallied together to keep Ellis's memory alive. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Richmond now with details on today's dedication of police headquarters.
Good morning, Bill. Officers will rename their police department after the fallen officer in just a couple hours. Now, the officer's brother says that his worry was that his young daughters would grow up without a memory of the fallen officer. And that is why he says this dedication is so important. He says that it lets them know that the sacrifice of Ellis will not be forgotten. Ellis, as you may remember, was shot and killed 5 months ago when he was investigating an attempted robbery. Today would have been his birthday. The husband and father would have turned 34. As officers dedicate their police department to him today, it's with some extra support from a middle school. Student at Clark's Moores Middle filled the jar with donations to help officers travel to Washington, D.C. for Police Week next month. The children were able to put together more than $200 to help send them on their way. And officers tell us that it is really hard for them to express their gratitude for the continued support that continues to come in from the community. And again, that's something that is reflected as well from Ellis's family. They say they are so grateful for this opportunity to remember his sacrifice. Again, it starts at 8:30 this morning. Live in Richmond, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Yeah, you still see signs of support for 457 all over Richmond, certainly. Well, a Montgomery County school bus driver accused of being drunk on the job is out of jail this morning. Brian Fletcher was arrested Wednesday outside of Camargo Elementary School. His arrest citation says Fletcher's blood alcohol level was .06 at the time. One parent says she has called and complained about Fletcher several times.
You know, my girls are the only thing I have. They're my life. And then you see parents on TV and their kids are being run over by the bus driver, and you know, they're supposed to be on that bus to be protected.
Many parents told us that they want to see more done to test drivers and to hold them accountable to make sure that kids are safe. In a statement, the Montgomery County School Superintendent says they have suspended Fletcher and are working with authorities to further investigate.
Today, family and friends will bury a well-known Lexington doctor killed in a cycling accident. Dr. David Cassidy was killed on Sunday while riding his bike in Bourbon County. Police say he was hit by an SUV on Lexington Road in Paris. The cardiologist was also an avid cyclist. Cassidy's funeral is this morning at 11 o'clock at Christ Church Cathedral.
New on WKYT this morning, police say a man made a clumsy getaway after robbing a Lexington gas station. Police say the man had his face covered and implied he had a weapon, and that's when he robbed the Shell on Versailles Road at Alexandria Drive. Apparently couldn't see over that disguise. He tripped on the way out, dropping some of the cash that he had stolen. Police are still looking for the suspect, though.
A man faces a long list of charges after a 7-car crash in Madison County. State police say Dustin Brockman crashed into 6 other cars on Kentucky 52 near Charlie Norris Road. The crash closed the road for several hours. 2 people went to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, Brockman's charges include assault, wanton endangerment, and DUI. An Eastern Kentucky native accused of killing a Florida couple is refused to be extradited. State police arrested Michael Harold last week in Perry County. Police in Florida say he worked for the couple. A judge set another hearing for next week.
A Lexington bridge is getting some bright artwork.
New sculptures on the Oliver Lewis Bridge on Oliver Lewis Way near Manchester Street will be lit during a ceremony next Friday. Now, it all begins at 8 o'clock at night and will conclude with a fireworks show. It's free and open to the public.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have some pretty heavy downpours in some spots down in southern and southeastern Kentucky. It is moving eastbound, so you're getting some heavy downpours, and then you're just getting some light showers depending on where you are. Let's start with southbound, because that's where we see some of the heavier downpours rolling through Williamsburg and Saxton, now making its way through that Barberville region across Union College as you work your way down 25 east. All that's heading east and northeast, so if you're sitting there in Manchester now starting to get the rain on top of you. Oneida, you are next in line if you work your way 421. That goes through Hayden. Hayden, you will be next in line here in just about 30-45 minutes. Hazard is going to be about 45 minutes to about an hour. Buckhorn, you still have about 20 to 30 minutes. In Jackson, I'd say roughly 20 to 30 minutes too. One going out of Menifee County, heading into places around that region. That's pretty heavy downpour too. So Winchester, Lexington, we're taking a break now, but we still have a little bit more rain to go through as it passes on through, traveling across 27 at this very moment. All that's heading eastbound. Lexington, we got about 15-20 minutes, and Winchester about 30 to 40 minutes. So all that still heading eastbound, and we still have more to go through the afternoon too. Afternoon is more of your thunderstorm activity. That's where we could see maybe a stray cell. Could be strong. So we'll need to be watching that very closely, but for the most part, this is cleansing out that air. And not only that, but also giving some beneficial rain to the yard. So this is helping us out in both ways, okay? So this is good news for us. Head off towards your evening and night. Things really fade away. And once they fade away, it's long gone for the weekend. Great weekend weather in store. Saturday will be at 70 degrees. Sunday at 78 degrees as we are staying dry there in the forecast. Good looking weekend in store for any activities you have going on. This is really nice weather there for the weekend. 70 degrees on Saturday, 78 on Sunday. You gotta love the weather for the weekend. It's just in time, right?
Yes, fantastic. You know what? I would take a rainy Friday every day for a great weekend.
I'm with you on that. I gotta go with you on that.
Thanks so much, Micah. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together. Joining us now is Officer Don with a look at what's happening on the roads and the latest on New Circle Road.
Well, good morning. Of course, we have that situation on the outer loop of the circle between Eastland and Ford. It's shut down as police continue to do what appears to be a death investigation there with a body found on the roadway. So that's going to be a detour for you if it's part of your route. As you can see, outer loop of the circle remains closed between Eastland and Floyd Drive this morning. No word on when they're going to get that open back up. There are no wrecks right now. We just had a look at the south side of town, too, including Nicholasville Road and Harrodsburg Road inbound through the crossover. Traffic's actually moving okay. Just the wet roads that were dealing with. Drive times, no major impacts other than that one area there on the circle to deal with this morning and a detour in place. But coming in from Nicholasville appears to be normal, 14 minutes. Georgetown's going to take 17. In Winchester, you're looking at 24. We'll keep you up to date throughout the morning and let you know when they get that road open back up. Now back to you in the studio. All right, again, that is New Circle at Industry Road in the Eastland area this morning. We will keep you informed on that on air here this morning. Our time, 6:10. And much more WKYT this morning on your Friday is on the way.
As the death toll in Ecuador rises, meet a doctor at the University of Kentucky who is there when the earthquake hit and see how she's helping with recovery.
And dozens of Kmart stores are closing across the nation, including some in Kentucky. WKYT this morning, back with those details. And that's all coming up right here.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT this morning.
Time this morning is now 6:14. We want to keep you up to date on a breaking news alert in Lexington. A death investigation has the outer loop of New Circle Road closed between Eastland Parkway and Floyd Street. Police and the coroner are trying to figure out how a man who was found on the side of the road this morning died. We'll have a live report from the scene with more information coming up at 6:30.
People around the world continue to mourn the sudden passing of music icon Prince.
The 57-year-old legend was found unresponsive in an elevator at his suburban Minneapolis estate yesterday. Jamie Yukas has the latest on that.
Landmarks across the country lit up in purple overnight, the color that came to represent Prince's career. Fans paid tribute to the music icon by singing his greatest hits on the streets. Some of the loudest voices could be heard from Prince's hometown of Minneapolis, outside the venue where Purple Rain was filmed. The score earned him an Oscar.
He put Minneapolis on the map, so I think it's great that we're celebrating his life and not, in sorrow.
It was here in Minneapolis where Prince honed his eclectic sound, mastering all aspects of his music from production to arrangement.
The legendary singer and songwriter won 7 Grammys and sold more than 100 million records during his 40-year career, something music critic John Bream says he accomplished with little help.
His outfits, the videos, he did everything. No one else in the history of music has done everything as well at such a high level as he did.
Leading up to his death, the reclusive star had embarked on a stripped-down piano and microphone tour. The 57-year-old spent his final moments at his Paisley Park estate, where mourners continue to celebrate his life and mourn his sudden passing. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Chanhassen, Minnesota.
Prince had been battling illness over the last several weeks and had been treated for a medical emergency possibly related to the flu. The cause of his death is still undetermined this morning. An autopsy is expected to be conducted on his body today. Certainly provided the soundtrack of many folks over the last 35 years or so. On the campaign trail, Republican leaders meet again today in Florida to discuss their party's nominating process. Yesterday, Donald Trump's top aide sought to woo party members by telling them that the GOP frontrunner is prepared to raise major money for the RNC. Trump now has 68% of the delegates he needs to secure the Republican nomination.
In Houston, officials are pushing for improvements in how they warn people about the dangers of flooded roads. 8 drivers died in flooding this week in the Houston area. Now, the city and nearby counties have been hit with more than a foot of rain since Sunday night. A judge says he will speak with the local sheriff's office and the offices of local constables to make sure someone is posted at underpasses and other flooded locations. The death toll from a powerful earthquake in Ecuador has surpassed 500. Dozens of people are still missing and more than 7,000 were injured. Almost 25,000 people along the country's coast are in shelters as well. A University of Kentucky doctor who is from Ecuador is helping raise money for those victims. Now, Dr. Ana Obuha was in Ecuador when the earthquake hit. She started an online donation campaign and is more than halfway to her $100,000 goal.
Your time this morning is 6:17. Sales of Prince's online music has surged following his death. Within hours, all of the top 10 songs on iTunes were from Prince. The number one was the iconic Purple Rain. Prince was opposed to online streaming, and he took steps to remove his music from most streaming services. Uber says it has settled a pair of major class action lawsuits in California and Massachusetts that will keep its drivers independent contractors instead of employees. Under the deal, Uber will pay $84 million to the plaintiffs in the two states and another $16 million if the company goes public and meets certain goals. Well, Sears is planning to close 68 Kmart stores across the country. That includes 5 stores here in Kentucky. Sales have been falling for years, and Sears had a disappointing holiday sales season. The Kentucky locations include one each in Maysville, Paintsville, Elizabethtown, as well as 2 in Louisville. All of the stores will close in late July. Sears says it is also closing 10 Sears stores this summer. You'll remember that Sears at Fayette Mall closed back in 2013. Ashley Madison customers caught up in a hack attack that revealed their personal information cannot sue under the pseudonym John Doe. A federal judge ruled plaintiffs must make their names known for the class action suit to go forward. They're suing the infidelity dating website for lacking the proper safeguards from a massive hack. Information on more than 32 million customers was revealed. Starbucks is thinking outside the coffee cup these days. The company says it will continue to push breakfast sandwiches, salad boxes, and other food to get people into the store during the slower parts of the day. And that strategy appears to be working. Starbucks says profits rose 16% in the first 3 months of the year. So there you go.
Nice to have an option when you pick up your coffee, right?
That's right. Maybe grab something to eat as well.
WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Some athletes had to let the dust settle before playing ball. A look at the unexpected disturbance in 6 minutes.
We have some rain out and about early this morning as we travel in towards your afternoon. Here comes some thunderstorms. We're going to be talking about that and the timing on it coming up.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Your time is 6:23. A death investigation in Lexington has part of New Circle Road shut down this morning.
And that's what's trending at this hour. A lot of questions still unanswered. Police say a driver found a man near Industry Road about 4:30 this morning, and they are not sure how the man died. The outer loop of New Circle is closed between Eastland Parkway and Floyd Drive, again in that Industry Road area this morning there on New Circle.
In just a few hours, Richmond police officers and many others from the community will gather in the parking lot at the police station for a special dedication ceremony. Officers are renaming the department in Officer Daniel Ellis' memory. Officer Ellis died in the line of duty last year. The fallen officer would have turned 34 today.
Today, family and friends will bury a well-known Lexington cardiologist, Dr. David Cassidy. He was killed in a cycling accident on Sunday in Bourbon County. Cassidy's funeral is this morning at 11 at Christ Church Cathedral. We have some rain showers moving through, and we anticipate that will be the case much of the day. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, it's on and off all day long. This morning we have the showers outside, and this afternoon we'll get some thunderstorms moving on in. And you can see it's pretty widespread across the region. I mean, eastern Kentucky, you're not seeing it just yet, but within the hour you will see rain push on in. I do want you to keep in mind with these roadways, this happens every single time that we have a long stretch of dry weather. And what happens is these cars, all the oil that's coming out of the cars, just piling up on the roadways. And then when it rains, you get multiple accidents. That happens every single time. So just know now that you have the rain falling on the roads with that oil on the roads, we haven't seen rain, measurable rain, in almost 10 days. You got to watch out for that as you're traveling this morning. Just take it slow, take it easy. Temperatures are in the 50s. Actually, it feels pretty nice. And once we go through the day, we'll be in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees later on today with those showers and even a few storms. Now, we're going to go over that hour by hour and then look towards your weekend coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then with the details about the weekend, which I think looks pretty good.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to that. 6:25 is the time this morning. Oprah Winfrey has been part of Weight Watchers Company now for a few months, and she decided to celebrate this week by crashing a meeting of the members.
Are you kidding me? Winfrey walked in blowing members' minds and broadcast the whole thing live on social media. Her good friend and CBS This Morning co-anchor Gayle King was along for the stunt and posted some pictures online. They must have been so excited.
Big day for them, right?
It's a big day. Speaking of unexpected guests, a women's softball game in Virginia had to be put on hold when a dust devil kicked up on the field.
Look at that. The athletes halted play, seeming to be unfazed by that twirling mini tornado. And just as quickly as it appeared, it then disappeared
Look at
into
that.
thin air. But that's strange.
What if you were in the middle of that?
Right. I've seen those. Normally, you know, like with leaves or whatever.
Yeah, I've never
but,
seen one
right
that
there
large.
on a baseball field.
Wow.
Okay, I guess they probably wonder what this means about the game, right? 6:26 is the time on WKYT This Morning.
When WKYT This Morning returns, a racial debate at Kentucky State University caused some controversy. Hear from both sides at 6:30.
All of our top stories are on the way. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $97 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $251 million. Kentucky Morning start right here on WKYT.